Welcome into Bullseye, and man, the points keep on coming. The Bulls coming off a 63-30 victory against Tulsa that has them bowl bound for sure with one game left to go, and they'll look to win that game as well. Darek Sharp with Joey Johnston and Caylee Cottrell. We'll talk to head coach Golesh. We'll talk to Kelley Joiner, who's continuing to rack up the numbers along with this entire offense. And I really don't know where to start other than, I mean, it would be obvious with all the points being scored, but the defense has had a say in this as well, Joey.
Yeah, just an incredible amount of highlights on both sides of the ball. USF just scored again.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
waiting for that.
But it was one of the more amazing displays you'll ever see. You could literally have a highlight for almost everybody who played in the game. I mean, tremendous touchdowns, great defensive plays. Just what more can you ask for on Senior Day for the fans to watch a game like that?
Kaylee, you got to see it from a first-person view down on the sideline. What was it like? I mean, it's fun, I'm sure, to be a part of a game where the outcome is given and you just get to marvel at these incredible plays.
Exactly. So electric and so happy that we got to send our seniors off that way. Like Joey was saying, you know, after the game, talked to Bryce, who had a career passing game, talked to Sean, talked to Bobo. I mean, his play before the half, you know, saving a touchdown at the 1 yard line, and then Ben in the second half with that punch out and, you know, to take possession of the ball. Like, I talked to Coach after the game, and it's just about the hustle on defense. They never gave up on any play, which was very, very cool to see.
I have a feeling we're going to ask Golesh about that. Also, now I'm learning today twice that's Bobo. That is James Chenault's nickname, apparently. Todd Orlando said Bobo. I'm like, okay, I think I know what he's talking about. And he actually said that on that Ben Knox play where he ran the guy down from behind. He had never seen anybody do that before. And I asked, do they actually practice that? And he's like, no, but yeah, kind of. But you practice the hustle part. You practice the trying to knock the ball out part. But to do it like he did. Now, as far as the defense goes, again, offense all up and down. Archie is really rounding into shape. They are now in the top 10 nationally in both turnovers forced and tackles for loss. 5 turnovers on the back of 4. It's just been phenomenal. And I don't know about you guys, Joey. I just think this is about as good as it can get, but I think they can surpass it the next week because they're just building that way.
I mean, the one thing that's really encouraging, you go back a few years, what was probably the number one thing this program needed to improve, sacks and pressure on defense, and we're seeing it now in a huge way, and that is such a big factor in football, to be able to press your advantage against the other team and make life miserable for the quarterback. And that is what USF's defense is doing, and that's a huge reason why this team is thriving like that, is they're finally getting pressure on the quarterback and stopping the opponents in the backfield. And if they can continue to do that, all things are possible.
28-0 first quarter also helps out with the defense, with the offense doing its job, with the defense setting them up. 2 members of that defense you had a chance to talk to for this week's show. Give people a little hint as to what's coming.
Yeah, Mac and Shu, the dynamic duo, 24/7.
24/7, love it.
24/7, yeah. They're the absolute best, and the two of them together. The past couple years, they said they have just grown so close, and they can't even really pinpoint when that was, but they remember just being in that room together and, you know, seeing things on film, kind of bonding on thinking the same way about things, like, oh, did you see that? Yeah, I saw that. You saw that? I saw that. Nice. And they just clicked from there, and their relationship the past 2 years have been so cool to see on and off the field. So they were very, very fun to talk to. It's a fun one.
Awesome. You guys can check that out in just a few minutes. That's going to be between Coach Golesh and Kelley Joiner, our player guest. 715 yards of offense, so probably a few highlights to bring you on the cinematic recap. And then Coach Golesh will join us after that here as Bullseye is getting going.
With a live look in from Raymond James Stadium on Senior Day. The Bulls and Tulsa coming up.
Focus on your job. One play at a time, that's all it is. And send these seniors out with something to be proud of. Do it for them. They've done a lot, do it for them. And end these girls. Guys, next to you. Wait for the name on the back, y'all boys. So all the seniors, I love y'all boys. Wait for the seniors, y'all boys. And mean this, say it. 1, 2,
Ready to go again. Joiner into the secondary. Joiner untouched all the way for the score. And that's a score. Naquan Wright on the right side gets into the end zone with into a crowd and picked off by the Bulls. Tafik Bayard with the pick. The fourth rushing touchdown of the quarter. He gets into the open field, up the near sideline, breaks a tackle at the Keyshawn Singleton. And his man, Peyton Singletary, touchdown, South Florida.
Make a choice to be focused play to play. We got to make a choice to be focused play to play. Elite teams go finish. Everybody with me? I need a focused, disciplined fucking USF team to go finish these motherfuckers. Everybody with me? Yes, sir. Mean it when you say it. Family, I'll do what do.
Hand off, open field, cutting to the right, getting to the end zone. This will be a 40-yard touchdown for South Florida. Got to throw toward the end zone, picked. South Florida with the interception. Inside the 5, the ball is stripped, and South Florida has the football. Throw, got a man, Michael Brown-Stevens, shakes a tackler and runs it into the end zone. Touchdown, South Florida. Trying to get him, he throws and picked. Bulls got another one. And I think that's the freshman, James Chenault. We've been calling him all day. He will throw over the middle, got a man wide open, it's caught, and this is gonna go the length of the field. Jonathan Eccles, first career catch. But South Florida gets the win, and they are bowl eligible for the second consecutive year, 63-30.
I want to reiterate that should and will be the standard here at some point. It's super awesome that we get to go bowling again. We get to play one more. The standard here is being set. It's got to continue to be set by you guys. That at whatever point we're ready as a program, bowling's great, that we're going to continue to climb.
Well, that was quite the cinematic recap because it was actually almost movie length as far as all the highlights from the last game, Coach. You know, we harped on it. Maybe we'll harp on the finish later on, but could you have drawn it up any better at the start?
No, I think it came out ready to roll. You know, talk about defensively, created 10 possessions for the offense in the first half, which is huge. That's, you count on that, maybe 12 for a game, and you get 10 possessions offensively. You know, the first 5 drives defensively were huge with the 3 and outs and then the goal line stop to create that many possessions offensively, and you flip it around offensively to be able to go score quickly in droves, kind of put it away in the first quarter and then be able to operate as the game went. Really proud of the start and still have so much to work on, but really proud of the start.
There are so many highlights we could talk about in this game, but 2 that really stood out in a cool way. When James Chenault ran down the player who almost scored, and then you ended up stopping him on 4 downs. And then later on, Ben Knox, beaten on a play, comes from behind, knocks the ball out, recovers it for a touchback, prevents another touchdown. I mean, such hustle by both of those guys. I know that's what you teach. So Chenault and Knox, what do those 2 plays mean to you?
Yeah, they're 2 huge plays in the game in terms of really 7-point swing on one, 7-point swing on the other. But they're elite effort plays. You know, you always talk about, man, it's not really what happens, it's how you strain to finish everything you do and how you respond. And both those guys, to have a freshman from the backside be able to catch a play, strain to finish, and then to be able to show the team and probably use it as teach tape as you go, but to be able to show the team that then all you talk about is just play the next play, just play the next play. We talk about a next play mentality in everything we do, regardless of score, circumstance, situation, just play the next play. Well, you showed the next sequence of plays defensively on the Chenault play, and you get a stop that then creates a long drive for a touchdown. And then Ben Knox, you know, like you said, beat on a play to be able to go finish and create a touchback to give you another offensive drive. Again, not how you draw up the play for Ben, in terms of getting beat over top, but then to be able to strain to finish is absolutely huge. To teach clips defensively and honestly teach clips offensively of how you are supposed to finish. Don't let up on the ball. Don't, you got a guy coming from behind, you got to squeeze it even harder. And really cool plays, really cool moments, and really two guys that have worked really, really hard to be able to showcase their ability.
Everybody says and said they're going to make a big deal of that in the film room. I want to go behind the scenes a little bit. Could you actually talk about that part of things? Who puts together? I know you probably have something to say with it. Putting together these videos that you show the team, and when do you sort of incorporate that into everything that goes on?
Yeah, on Monday mornings, we meet offensively, defensively first, and we bring the guys together, and we go through a game recap. And when we walk out of that meeting, it's on to the next game. And so you try to tie it in, but those meetings are really consistent in terms of what we go over, and it's really pretty simple. We go through the previous week in terms of any issues, any accountability things we got to hit on, and then we go right into the game recap, and we talk about really the first two biggest things we talk about are negative plays, offensively, defensively. You want to be on the plus side of it. And the second piece we talk about is the turnovers. And again, you want to be on the plus side of it. Those are literally the first two things we talk about every week. Then we talk about penalties that are preventable, and hammer that home. Show anything you need to show in that regard. The next thing we talk about is effort. And we have something called the 640 Club, which is guys that played harder for longer, extraordinary effort. 640 meaning on average you get 80 plays a game, 6 seconds of play. That's 6 minutes and 40 seconds of real game time. And so who played harder for longer for 6 minutes and 40 seconds? And so you point out those guys, offense, defense, special teams, and then we show some incredible effort plays so that the entire team sees it. Because a lot of the time the offensive guys, they're not watching the defensive film. The defensive guys aren't watching the offensive film. And then your quarterbacks, your linemen are usually not watching the special teams film. So you show that. And you love on those guys, and you set the standard there.
That's great.
So those are the biggest things we hit every week. Then we always go from there to game situations that happen throughout college football or the NFL that weekend that you can teach off of. And there's always some really interesting things that come up. And so we'll show 2 or 3 game-like situations that happen that we can learn off of so they don't happen to us, or positive things that you can show. And then we go into the opponent. So literally finish it there, go into the opponent, give big picture of the opponent, and we close with whatever final thoughts for the week, this week, finish.
You finished the regular season Saturday at Rice. We'll talk about that, but I wanted to talk about your schedule upcoming. You have the game December 4th. You have signing day. If I have my dates right, December 9th, the transfer portal opens. Then, of course, bowl preparation. So if I invite you to my Christmas party, big if, by the way, I don't think you're going to be able to make it.
Depends on who's going to be there.
You're going to be busy.
Is your neighbor going to be
My
there?
neighbor will be there.
9 turnovers last 2 weeks.
He's so excited. He loves it.
If your neighbor is there,
So this is
I may swing
crazy-
through, or I may send my guy Slick.
Okay. He would love to meet Slick, too. But seriously, there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, you're not doing like a nap, in the middle of the day right now. I bet you your neighbor is.
Yeah. Until Saturday.
He can rest easy with the defense,
That's
taken
right.
care of now.
Yeah, it's a fun, exciting time, and the NCAA continues to change some things for us week to week, and so we're just
Nicely handled.
Yeah, we're just adjusting as it goes. But yeah, the biggest change for us is signing day gets moved up, so the regular season ends. You get signing day that next week, which I think for a staff that's returning is a positive. So your signing day, like you said, the portal, we're getting right into bowl practice, which is awesome because you get to keep working, you get to keep developing.
Nice.
More than anything with these bowl games is you get to keep your team together for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long it is. You get to keep feeding them, you get to keep lifting, keep training, keep practicing, keep developing your skills, which is monumental in our growth for the future. And then, like you said, the portal. So obviously, you're working through your roster. You're working through maybe some additions that you feel like can help you as you go. So there's obviously a lot of roster management there. But it's an exciting time as you head into Christmas and New Year's, and you feel like there's real momentum and real excitement. We got to go finish Saturday to really feel positive going into it.
I think it was after Navy, you said something to the effect in your press conference of, we're still feeling our way through the process in the middle of year 2, and man, something has really clicked. What has it been the last 2 weeks that has really stood out to you?
Yeah, I think we've played better football. We've executed on both sides of the ball. We've played high-end special teams. We've played complementary football. You start with creating turnovers on defense and creating negative plays. We've operated better offensively. And it's still highs and lows and highs and lows. But I think as you have success, you could feel it in practice. There's a energy and an attention to detail that you feel like is starting to get handled by the players and less by the coaches. That's where you're going. You're hoping you're going as you continue to build, and you're starting to see some young guys play. I said in the press conference, we had 72 guys play a week ago. We had 80 guys play this past week.
Wow.
So as more guys feel involved, there is going to be a better energy as you go. And so you're hoping you're continuing to build and continue to get better. Elite teams play their best football in November. I don't know if we're there, but we're growing into that. And I think in basketball reference, it's March Madness. That's when teams really come together. In the football sense, it's November. That's where it has to be. And you see teams around the country either start to crumble or start to elevate their game. And I feel like we're climbing at just the right time.
The last 2 games out, tons of great positive accomplishments. You've got the bowl game coming up, but you've got this game with Rice. So what are you looking for to that? I know the word finish is big, and here's a chance to finish the regular season well and win another road game. What are you hyper-focused on that you'd love to see at Rice?
Yeah, attention to detail and execution. We've got to go play our game. I think what can get lost in it, a lot of the times you look at a record and you say, man, like, we should do this or we should do that. Turn on any Saturday in college football. You shouldn't do anything. You have to go earn every single thing that you're getting. And for us, you want to play your best game. You want to play your best offensively. You want to protect the quarterback. You want to protect the ball. You want to run it. And you want to take your shots when you get them. Defensively, you want to create negatives, create turnovers, and play lead on third down. That's what you want to see come together as you go. You got to go earn it. And I think so much of it is the understanding that you earn the right to play elite football throughout the week. It's not that you're going to show up on Saturday and you're going to go get it done. And so starting with yesterday, I feel like our guys are working towards that. But you got to go prove it every single day, because if not, you'll get humbled really, really quick in this game.
Hey, keep it going. Thank you. Congratulations on the accomplishments so far, and I'm glad it's not our last show. We'll talk to you soon about the next game the Bulls have. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
One of the guys that's been a big part, he mentioned the word record, of this offense. It's what's going on is Kelley Joiner. He's going to join us very shortly on Bullseye.
Whenever we see one, we see the other. How would you describe your relationship with Mac?
Fire and ice. He's the outgoing, loud one, and I'm kind of just more chill. You need your other half. You know what I'm saying?
There's the other half.
Yeah,
that's my dog. We just relate in a lot of things. Honestly, it seems like we're polar opposites, but we think alike a lot of the time. So it's just a connection that we have. As a player, he's a dog, bro. He's demanding. He's not gonna ask of nothing of you that he won't do himself. You know what I'm saying? He's electric too. At any point in time, he can make a play and change the game. And he has that ability each and every single game, no matter the opponent or whatever. So, yeah, we as a defense, we appreciate the hell out of him.
As a player, just really, really high motor, just really active, really loud, really vocal. And I mean, that's something I need. It's so much easier having somebody beside me who has that high motor, because like I said, I'm not really the most, outgoing personality-wise, but on the field I try to be, what I can. But so yeah, just really high motor. It's really helpful when it comes to playing beside him and being able to control the defensive unit.
How special is it for you to take the field with him?
I mean, no shade to taking the field with anybody else, but I mean, I wouldn't want to be out there with anybody else. Honestly,
it's special. I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of sad. I wish I had one more with him. I wish we could have went one more together, but I'm happy for him though. He gonna have a bright future ahead of him.
If she were to play another position, what position do you think he'd play? I'm pondering.
Yeah, cause he an athlete. He an athlete. He got hands.
Yeah.
He can run.
Mm-hmm.
He's long. He would be a great go ball receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Throw it up. He gonna go get it. So look, this whole time, I just talked about you not being like outgoing and you gonna come across the screen like galloping.
I didn't want to miss it. What did you say?
I said you would either be a go ball receiver or the second position, I'll put you at running back. I let you tote that thing. Yeah, I let you tote that thing.
He was a good quarterback, and like he got a good, nice arm. So maybe a quarterback, or he sees the field pretty good. Maybe safety or something.
What is one thing about Shu that we don't know that you think we should know?
He's funny for real. He's actually funny, but he's quiet. He don't show y'all that side, which is unfortunate. A lot of times he'll whisper under his breath to me, like tell me some crazy stuff, and I get caught for laughing. But it's like he's funny for real.
He can rap.
Me and Shuler chilling with Caylee Cottrell. We were at practice trying to not take a L.
Yeah.
Can you rap?
No.
Yeah, rap.
This is why I dance.
Oh man, this is a treat. Kelley Joiner, who has been with USF through a lot, and he is probably happy that he decided to stick around. How has this year been for you and the team, Kelley?
It's been good. A lot of ups and downs, but I'm glad that we're finishing strong. Made a bowl game, and I'm excited to see the rest of the season.
Well, we'll ask about some of your specific plays this last game in a second, but in general, the offense, whoever's running the ball, is picking up big chunk yards. I'm sure you want to shout out the offensive line. It's all going well. Have you noticed something before anyone's actually seen it that could have led you to believe that this was going to happen? What's been the process?
The process really is just get better every day, and like you said, shout out to the O-line. As an offense, we can't go without the boys up front, so yeah, big shout out to them.
It kind of seems like the post-game interviews I do, I always seem to mention, how about those running backs? How about those running backs tonight? And the O-line gets a lot of credit. I mean, talk about the way they're able to block and make the holes for you. What's it like playing beside them?
Yeah, it's fun just to, when you have the ball and you see them like pancake a guy and just throw people out the way, it's fun to watch.
It's fun for all of us to watch you guys right now. All right, you had some plays that were really fun to watch.
Yeah.
We could start off with the first run of the game where you did, what was it, a 720, not a 360. Then the easy, talking about the offensive line, with the right, Zane Herring just destroyed 2 people. And then I want to pinpoint one play that set up your second touchdown where you, I think, ran about 100 yards across the field. Did you get a little tired at the end there? And I don't blame you if the answer is yes. Take us through that play.
A little gas. It was a play going to the right outside. It was none there, so I looked back to my left and I just seen a lot of grass. So I took it across field and I seen that I had a couple blockers out there. To be specific, I think it was Yasim and Gunner.
Nice.
They led the way, and as I'm running down the sideline upfield, I see the defense conversion on me, and the guy falls right in front of me. I try to jump over him, and he just tackled me.
The foot tackle?
He tackled me with his feet, basically. So yeah, I tried to get in there, man. I'm sorry.
When you're running, do you sense, out of second nature, do you look behind you and sense people coming? Do you try not to look behind you? Does that slow you down? What's the process like?
They tell you try not to look behind you, but like it's more of a feel.
Yeah.
Like you could feel when somebody's close, and by the speed they're running at, it's kind of hard not to. But yeah, I look behind me. I check my surroundings. Yeah, that play it'll stick with me forever.
Oh. Do you, on the other side, on a play where do you feel when there's no one close to you?
Yeah.
And like the first touchdown,
yeah.
A, and B, do you ever look up at the scoreboard? Because I would just fall down if I tried to do that.
I think in that touchdown, you could see, if you zoom into my face, you could see me looking up at the scoreboard, looking up at myself. Yeah, that's a fun feeling, looking up and seeing nobody around you.
Oh, you know, we've talked to Coach about the Chenault play, and of course you're talking about being on the other side of it, but you can appreciate, I'm sure, what your teammate did there. And it's not just the hustle. I mean, you got to have some speed to do that too.
Yeah.
I could have wanted to tackle the guy, and I'd have been, you know, outside the red zone with cardiac arrest. So, what is the actual feeling like for somebody appreciation, even though it's something you don't want to have happen to you, but what you saw from Chenault?
Chenault, yeah, he's a dog, true freshman, and for him to keep the gas on and run that for that long and chase somebody's down, that's a hell of a play for him. Yeah, that's a hell of a play.
You got to have some gas.
Yeah, you got to have some gas.
Who's got the most gas on the team? Who can? I know
Me.
you guys actually.
Me.
Oh yeah, is that right? Is that technically been proven? Speeds? I mean, I know your speeds
we
get clocked, right?
we could prove it. I'm not scared to race. You know, whoever wanted it can come get it. I'll never turn down a foot race.
Oh yeah. What about Jaquan then?
I'll race Jaquan too. Jaquan, he can get it on the football field, not on the track though. You know, it has to be on the field though. It has to be on the field.
All right, I know you don't sit there and check your numbers during a game, but we were doing that for you for our broadcast on the radio, and you got into 6th place all time. And for somebody, you deserve 2,159 yards. You deserve it, man, because some people might say, well, he's been here for a lot of years, but you were hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Could you speak about just persevering through all of those injuries?
Yeah, I like to say that each injury, you know, taught me something different, and my recent one with the toe injury last year, it taught me, you know, how to love my teammates, not being able to, you know, play out there and be out there with them, but to, you know, sit back and cheer them on. It gives you a good feeling inside. But yeah, persevering, you know, overcoming those injuries, you know, made me a better person today. So I don't regret any of that.
Wow.
You know, last week you told me when you were in high school you were hurt, and you said USF still taking that chance on you. Because of that, you will give your all to this university. Why is that important to you?
I mean, all I ever wanted was to, you know, be a role model for my siblings and, you know, the little kids back home. You know, there's nothing to do in Claremont, Florida, and for them to see me, you know, go to college and, you know, do what I do now, I know it brings joy to them and joy to me. So for USF to keep their scholarship on while I was hurt and give me the opportunity to do that, I'm forever grateful.
Well, we're grateful for what you've done. Nice shout out to Claremont as well. You know, I think it was last year that Coach Golesh said that he felt like he did you a disservice, you know, putting you out at slot receiver and just moving you all around. How tough was that, and how much do you appreciate the fact that he sort of, you know, got you back in your spot?
I want to say it was a disservice. I mean, I like to show my versatility, so I'm glad that he did that. But
wow, nice.
The slot was cool. You know, I wish I could have got out there a little more and make some more plays for, you know, the offense. But yeah, that whole experience was fun.
Well, you got some good slot receivers. You realize that. They don't need you out there.
Yeah. Don't need me out there.
Talk about your running back room a little bit and what Coach Micah James has brought to that room this year.
Yeah, Coach James, he's a character. If you talk to him, and he's a funny guy. But yeah, he keeps our room going. You know, Naquan, TK, and me, the seniors of the room. We try to paint the way for the younger guys, and, you know, instill greatness in them and tell them to keep pushing and work hard, stuff like that. And yeah, it's been fun with that group this year.
Well, you just mentioned the seniors teaching the way. How cool was that? I mean, you knew it was coming, obviously, the senior day situation, but did that give you a little extra juice because it was your first one?
Yeah, it's my first one.
First one officially, okay.
Yeah. In high school, I was hurt my senior night. So for me to play this game, you know, it meant a lot, and I just wanted to, you know, get the win and show my family, you know, that on senior night it's a special night. And I just wanted, you know, I had my grandma there. Oh, nice. She hasn't came to a game this year, and she's a big part of why I came to college today. So I wanted to show up for her.
Oh, wait a second. You gotta give us more on that.
Yeah.
How is she a big part? You wanted to do something right for her?
She showed me how to work hard. You know, growing up, she had 2 jobs. Put food on the table, clothes on my back for me and my siblings. So she was like the anchor of the family. So
that's so awesome that she was there. Now she say, "No, why didn't you run for 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter?" No, I'm just kidding. You put on a great show. You all put on a great show. So as we start to wrap it up here, let's see. Did you bring some props this week? I want to give some props to whoever made these.
Yeah.
Shout out. Fantastic. An array of shirts.
Shout out to Athletes Thread for the merch.
AthletesThread.com.
Hit the link.
Pick up your Joiner Jr. stuff.
That's what I'm
Use my code. You can get 10% off.
Whoa, listen to this guy. Yeah, pick that one up. You're okay. You're okay. Because I like that one. That's my style.
I do too.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd keep it on the ground so I can make off with it. Hey, that is pretty sharp right there.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you got that all? Athletes Thread.
Yeah. And it's the front of this.
Oh, yeah, so show the front.
That's solid.
I don't know if you had anything to do with those designs, but whoever did, those are nice.
Yeah, go get that.
Again,
go get that.
Make sure you accidentally drop those on the floor and turn the other way. Thank you, Kelley. Good luck this week and in the bowl game.
Yep.
We will wrap up Bullseye in a minute. All right, for the second week in a row, handy dandy notes.
A lot of
this, courtesy of Brian Seagrass, the head of all things sports information. As you can tell, would take the full hour to read, but it gives you an idea. The bowl appearances, the wins for Coach Golesh, 13, working on 15 in the first 2 years. It's all fantastic. And of course, Kelley Joiner's right there on these notes, moving up the charts, and actually within range of 1,000 yards, 253 yards. And who's to put it past him? I mean, you just heard his story. What a fantastic leader on this team, and very humble.
He's a force on the field, honestly, and such a great leader off the field. And I think his loyalty to USF is just something that has never faltered, and that just warms my heart like crazy. So, I mean, we are so lucky to have him.
And we'll see if the Bulls can finish up the regular season 7-5 against Rice. Also want to shout out you weren't at the football game. You had a good reason because you're in Myrtle Beach with men's basketball.
I was on ESPN Plus for football, though. We watched it with the basketball team.
There you go.
For a part.
Nice.
So the guys were watching it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it was, everybody's going crazy. If you were
awesome.
late to the beginning, you missed Kelley Joiner's because it happened quick.
41 seconds.
So you had to be in place for the start of that game.
And your call on the radio side with Jim Lighthall of the end of the Bulls men's basketball team's stay in Myrtle Beach was epic, but it was an epic play. Tell people what happened.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, Wright State's a very good team out of the Horizon League, and it was one of those back and forth games. Wright State had a run in the first half, USF had a run in the second half, but toward the end, it was just trading baskets back and forth, and Wright State scored with 6.8 seconds to go to take a 1-point lead. USF had a timeout, did not use it. The instructions were Jhalyn Reed, go. And he did. He ran up the right sideline. He did a little juke, tried to lose his defender, went to the corner, buried a three-pointer. We thought at the buzzer. They put .04 on the clock, but Jhalyn Reed won the game. Jhalyn Reed played like a man possessed. He played like the freshman Jhalyn Reed, and I think it's safe to say Jhalyn Reed is back. But what a great way to end that tournament. The Bulls go 2-1. Finished third place in the Myrtle Beach Invitational. I think really this could be kind of an early turning point in the season in terms of the team really finding itself.
And you guys get a chance to see them, I believe, next Tuesday back at home. I'll be with women's basketball this post-Thanksgiving. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with the team. They invited me. They're playing in the Cayman Islands against two undefeated teams. Their schedule's incredible. So we have a lot to, if I make it back, we have a lot to talk about next week. Also, by the way, next week we're going to do a special for National Signing Day. So stay tuned for that. And then the next Bullseye you'll see is, official Bullseye show, is previewing a bowl game. But first, finish off strong against Rice this week. For Caylee Cottrell and Joey Johnston, I'm Darek Sharp. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, keep those horns up.